All right, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate y'all tapping in today. This Friday afternoon, man. We got a special show, man. I want to, what I'm saying, bring y'all an inspiring message. So this is the first time the Just As the News podcast is going to be touching, two different continents. So at the end of the day, man, this all started with an idea, ladies and gentlemen. So as we move into the new year, man, understand that if you see it, you can achieve it. So just keep God first, and everything will be added unto you, man. So I'm not going to take too much more of your time. We're going to bring on the man, the myth, the legend, man. His name is Zion Shad, former hockey player now. For my people who's tuning in from the states in Georgia, specifically, former hockey player, just 2 years into playing football, already been named defensive MVP of the Canadian High School Football Showcase, and now has attention from IMG and major D1 schools in the nation. So I'm gonna bring the young man on. Let him speak his piece. How you doing, brother?
Tell us.
I can't hear you.
Can't hear me? All right, I'm gonna go back. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Can't hear me.
How we doing now? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
I'm not sure the people heard my intro, man. I thought it was masterful, but ladies and gentlemen, this is Zion Shad, man. Only been playing football for 2 years. Former hockey player has already been named the MVP of the Canadian Football Showcase, and I'm saying is definitely one of the brightest stars coming in to the nation, man. So, brother, how are you doing today? And I'm saying, how's it going for you?
I'm doing good, sir. Just chilling right now.
And light shining bright, man. You look good, brother, for sure. So, I'm gonna go ahead and get into it, man. Was doing some research on you, man. You train with Canadian League all-time sack leader. And you say you got a quick first step, man. You played hockey, so just how that quick first step translate from playing a sport like hockey?
I'd say it all starts with my track training.
Yeah.
I've been doing track training for a couple of years now with my uncle Kenan Shad. He has a track club out of Kitchener-Waterloo, Ontario, and up in Canada called Maximus Performance. So I'd say my first step all started from there.
100%, man. What how does playing hockey first make you an effective football player?
Well, I started hockey from when I was I'd say 2 years old.
Yeah.
3 years old, I started skating, playing hockey. That definitely helped with my athleticism and just moving around, just becoming a better athlete. Because hockey players are some very good athletes, and the training definitely crosses over from football.
100%. So I'm assuming bouncing on the ice definitely helps you. Skate and get skinny on the offensive tackles for sure.
Yes, sir.
100%, man. So hockey now, football. How would you say? Because you recently now played in an American Football Showcase down here in Atlanta. What would you say is the difference between the talent up north and the talent down here in the States?
Well, first of all, I would say just a mentality difference. Everybody here, they really want it more. I'd say they're physical, aggressive. The speed, especially, is different here. Just the quickness of the overall whole game, like athletes, and just the way the game goes, is definitely a lot quicker down here. The physicality, we are a yard closer, so we on the ball, so it's definitely quicker, and the physicality a lot more down here.
So you're saying the players up there aren't necessarily as serious about the game, or just a couple?
No. I think they're serious. I just think down here is a different level. It's just different level. I'd say there's some serious players down in Canada, but down here is just different level. You'll see everybody here serious.
100%. So since the time being down here, obviously you're special, man. You got a quick first step, violent hands, and everything with your approach. Do you feel like you fit in, or do you feel like you still stand out now that you've seen competition here in the States?
Well, I'd say that I'm definitely still getting used to it, but I'd say I did my thing. Definitely, we have stuff to work on, but I'd say it went overall was good. But we still getting into and getting used to it because it's definitely a little bit different.
Absolutely, brother. I also want to tap into more of your story, if you allow me. You know what I mean? Diagnosed, I was reading some of your notes, man. Diagnosed with 3 different learning disabilities, right? But however, I listened to an interview with your trainer. He says you're you're very, very much a perfectionist. You know what I mean? Went from a 2.6 to a 3.8 GPA, man. Would you say that you just learn quicker now? Or would you just say that, you know what I mean, you feel a little more attachment to care about it? Or just what would you say has been the biggest difference since it's just a transition?
I mean, I would definitely say with my learning disabilities, I had to learn how to overcome them. Not necessarily get rid of them, but learn how to like deal with them and learn how I learn personally. So it took some time, but I would say around grade 6 or 7, um, it definitely started like I really started to understand how I learn as an individual, and then my grades kind of shot from there because I started taking it really seriously. Studying, reading, just learning all my how I did stuff. But after I learned that, it was kind of good from there. I learned my grades went up, to an
100%.
A B student.
100%. Just speak a little bit more to that. 'Cause I feel like that's key. What you said about learning how you learn. You know what I mean? So, what advice would you give to any kid or any parent that's watching this? Like, man, my son has they've diagnosed him with this learning disability, but if he learns how he learns, that could change the course of his career.
Yes, sir. Well, for me, reading has always been my biggest struggle. I hate reading. Just my dyslexia, it's always been a struggle with me. Reading, just understanding different texts, I would say, have been my biggest struggles. So I just would say, for me personally, just slowing everything down, and you maybe getting a teacher or a parent to help me with understanding the work really helped me. But after I got someone to help me, everything kind of clicked from there because I'm smart. It just took me
Absolutely.
time to learn how I need to understand the questions or the work I'm doing. So I would say for me, just trying to get a person who really cares and someone that's willing to help you and like go with and help you like understand everything. But I would say for me, just you need to make sure the person understands what they're doing, like really, because not everyone understands everything the same way. So once I understood everything, it kind of clicked from there, and everything was good.
Absolutely. That was a great answer, brother. So, we want to talk about how you grew up, man. Just, you know what I'm saying? How did you grow up? You know what I'm saying? How was it for you? You know what I mean? And just talk a little bit about your upbringing.
Yes, I grew up with a single mother, and I would definitely say my family is very important to me. I always be with my cousins, my uncles, my aunts. Just I always be with my family. It's definitely very motivating for me because my family's all athletes. Right now, my cousin, she plays for University of Wisconsin volleyball. My uncle and my aunt were both professional track runners. My mom did powerlifting. My stepdad, he played overseas basketball. So I would say just my whole family, we all were the athletes. So I just take it from them and learn. And my dad, he played football for University of Laurier up in Canada. So like my whole family, I kind of like we're really close, and I learned a lot from all of them. So my upbringing was really family. Like I just love my family.
100%, man. Family full of athletes, yet you still wanted to get on the ice, man. So why did you want to get on the ice and pursue hockey, brother? Just the culture?
Well, my grandpa, he was a big hockey fan, Boston Bruins hockey fan. So, once I turned the age, once I could walk, he really had me on ice, had me outside playing hockey. He built rinks in our backyard, and I would say, up until like I played hockey up until grade 5, I think, up until just before COVID happened. But yeah, he really brought me into hockey. He loved the sport of hockey.
What position did you play?
I played center, uh, and some right wing. But I never played defense. I was always playing offense in hockey, trying to score.
That's because you were a star. I like that. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
100%, man. So like I said, hockey to football, man. In a family full of athletes, you know what I'm saying? Was it a smooth transition? I know you know what I'm saying, you got a lot of high level trainers around you in your family, but just what was the transition like for you?
I mean, I would say there was definitely a period where I wasn't really doing much sports, but the transition was tough. But once I'd say like grade 10, when I really started getting into football, then it kind of was smooth sailing from there. After I really locked in on my training, it was kind of smooth sailing from there. But the transition definitely did take a while from hockey to football. It wasn't like an immediate thing.
Absolutely. Yep. You said grade 10. I want to state, I don't know if it's a state championship up there as well with a different verbiage, but I want a championship in football. for grade 10. Just how was that? How was that experience, my friend?
It was definitely a good experience overall. I was, a leader on the team, so it was definitely a good experience overall. A confidence booster as well. Just being able to play any level of football, just definitely and winning is definitely a big confidence booster and very fun experience, I'd say.
100%. Won a football championship 2 years in. Did you think that was possible when you picked up the sport?
I mean, after I started really getting into it, I would say anything's possible if you really got your mindset in the right place. But definitely not at first. At first, I didn't really have any plans going into football. But the minute, like 6 months, a year after I started taking it seriously, I did believe in myself, and I think I could take it somewhere.
100%. So, what's your routine like? What's your schedule like? You just talked about 2 years in. You train skills. You know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. You're doing speed training. You do nutrition. You know what I'm saying. It's all in there. So, what is your routine like? How early are you getting up, and what's your process?
Yes, sir. Every day I get up around 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m. just to do some mobility and just like start my day off with maybe some bike sprints, just whatever like is my on my day whatever my morning schedule is for that day.
Mm-hmm.
But first I'll eat breakfast. I have a protein shake with some toast and some jam,
Yeah.
and then after I go to school, I meal prep all my meals. So actually, no, I'm lying. My mom helps me with my meal prepping. Because she's a good cook. But I have the same thing, whether it be chicken and rice and broccoli or some sort of pasta and sausages. My mom always be cooking up some good meals for me throughout
Yeah.
the week.
You don't step in sometimes, but nah, man, I got you this week. I'm gonna go ahead and bust it down. I'm gonna throw a little oil in the pan. You don't cook at all.
I mean, I do cook when I can, but if it's gonna be something good, my mom is definitely gonna cook it for me.
Nah, for sure. Shout out to
But
my.
I do cook. It's not just her. I do help.
So you cook. What's your favorite dish to cook, man?
I'd say some good macaroni and cheese is probably my favorite thing to cook. I can cook some good macaroni and cheese, but not too often though. Not too often.
All right, for sure, man. We'll get back to the business, man. Single mom, man. Obviously catching some fire in the football scene, man. Just what would it mean to you? You know what I mean, to make it. You know what I mean, to be that breadwinner for the household, and you know what I'm saying, just set your mom at ease, man. You know what I'm saying, take a little bit off your shoulders. What would if you thought that far?
Yeah, I definitely think it'd be a good thing for me and my family, just financially, to make our family stable. And everyone in my family believe in me, so I just really gotta trust the process and go with it. But I definitely think it'd be an amazing thing for my whole family, because everyone in my family, they all made it somewhere, but no one really took it the next step, kind of thing, just mentally with everything. But I would say I think I got it, and I can do it for my family, really.
I'm saying grade 10 is over. Get ready to hit to that money year, as some people like to call that junior grade 11. You know what I mean? How are you handling a little bit of the pressure, man, knowing that it's that time is here?
Really, I don't. There's a little bit of pressure on me, but at the end of the day, I love it. I love the sport, so it's not really pressure because I love training, I love competing, and just everything about the sport. Really, like whether it's winning or losing, hard. I don't like losing, but like, I love everything about the sport. So I'm handling it good. A big transition right now, I'd say, but actually everything's good right now.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the switch that you flip when you're on the field. You know what I mean? I've heard from Unc, you know what I mean, that you're real chill, real reserved. But I'm sure once you get on the field, you know what I mean, that flip switch, and you know what I'm saying, it's a little animalistic. So let's talk about that switch and how you are how you are in between the lines.
I would say, it's definitely a switch because I'm a very like not social person. I don't really be out talking to people like that. I'm a quiet person. But I'd say when I get on the field, it's just like a different level of like a different me. You know what I mean? Not like a different person, but like it's just a different level. I'm more intense with it, professional, and just I mean some trash talking obviously, but
Yeah,
definitely a little bit comes out.
100%. So one more question before I bring on my co-host, Najee Wilkins. It's a little more reserved, right? You know what I mean? I know you have the makeup to potentially be a leader on a team. So with you being a little more relaxed, do you think that affects your leadership qualities, or do you feel like you're more of a lead by example type of player?
I mean, I'd say a little bit of both. I definitely would say I lead by example, and I am a leader, and I can talk. But I don't just talk all the time for no reason. I talk when it's necessary, really, and if my teammates need something or whatever. But I definitely could be a leader. Just even though I am a little bit quieter, I lead by example, just by the way my actions, the way I do things, my mannerisms, and everything. I'd say.
You know what I'm saying? One more thing, you know what I'm saying? You said you got a family full of athletes, uncle play, pops play. What's been the biggest piece of advice that they give you just about how to conduct yourself, or mainly just about playing the game? I know uncle's the pass rusher too.
I would really say it comes down to work ethic. They all tell me because like you can be naturally athletic, you can be big, you can be strong, but like if you don't really want it, like if you don't really put that work in, at the end of the day, something's gonna slip, something's gonna go on. Whether that's your mobility, your strength, your quickness, your health, like injuries, just like you have to really be doing everything right. Like you can't really be slipping on anything. Everything got to be serious. You got to be taking everything seriously.
Absolutely. Nigel Wilkins to the world, man. You're on mute, my friend. You're on mute. Just to let you know.
What's going on, Zion? How everything going, bro? You hear me?
Can you hear him, Zion?
No, I can't.
Hold on.
You talking?
Yeah, just try to go out and come back in, brother. I don't know why the audio tripping today, man. Okay. But so work ethic, you talked about that being the main thing. Just there you go. Just try to put him back in. I say something, my friend.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead, brother.
What's going on, Zion? How everything going, brother?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good, man. Appreciate you asking. So, Zion, I know you probably told a little bit about your backstory, earlier in the show. I want to ask you. I seen, going to your Instagram page. You came down here to Georgia. I believe you're still here as well. You was participating in some of the practice and stuff. What do you feel like it's done for you, maybe your game, in terms of the exposure and just getting out, seeing some of the best talent coming all the way up from Canada?
I mean, I would definitely say it's been really good overall as an experience so far. Just playing with better athletes and athletes who are gonna go to that next level, and just seeing that and seeing like what it takes to be there. And I'd say overall, it's just been a good experience. Just I've been soaking everything in from whether it's coaching, the athletes, the players, the way they go out and just do their technique and stuff. I just been soaking everything in like a sponge. This whole experience, I'd say.
For sure. For you, Zion, what is next? As you obviously transition to a big junior year coming up, you're trying to continue to put your name out there, try to get these offers from college. What's kind of that next step or evolution for you?
Well, I would say the next step is getting down here on a team, really. But once I get down here on a team, it's just really training, grinding, and just getting myself better and more mentally prepared for this game I'm about to play down here.
100%. And if you can kind of just inform us a little bit, I know you talked about being better athletes, the way they go about things, but how is football in Canada? Obviously, we're seeing more athletes from Canada having a big effect, not only in football, basketball, everything. How is ball up there?
I mean, I would say it's competitive. There's definitely lots of athletes who want to make it to the next level and play, but it's just really about knowing where to go. There's not really a guide in Canada to help you like, oh, you need to go here, you need to do this. It's kind of like you have to like really be lucky or find someone to help you trying to get to the next level because there's not really a system in place yet in Canada to really go about going to the next level, I'd say.
Interesting. So for you, kind of going all the way back to when did you start playing football? One, and then two, how was that first experience for you?
My first time playing football was in my 9th grade year. It was like just the summer going to my 9th grade year because on a spring team.
Got
My
you.
first.
And then how was that experience for you?
I mean, at the beginning, it was definitely rough. I wasn't that good. I haven't really practiced or trained anything like that. So it was definitely a different experience than now. But it definitely helped to like for me motivation of me like okay, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm gonna try to do in my life.
Who's maybe been a mentor during this process for you, or somebody that you can kind of lean on a little bit, whether that's your parents or a coach, a trainer? who's been kind of helping you through this process?
Well, I really say my whole family's been my mentors. My uncle Ken and Shad, he's been one of my biggest mentors. My other uncle Jonathan Ham, he's been another big mentor for me. Cause he played in the league for a little bit. My uncle he did track professional for a little bit. So I'd say just like my mom as well. Like everyone's really been a mentor for me. They all been helping me get to the next like step and just teaching me how I should go about it.
Now, obviously, you play edge rusher, Zion. So, from your experience playing and seeing maybe the game on TV, well, what do you feel like are the ingredients, the qualities you need in order to be successful as an edge rusher in football?
Well, first I would say you bend. As an edge rusher, you really need to be able to bend, get low. Dip the edge, get off the ball. But I would say bend and edge and just explosiveness as an overall athlete. If you don't got bend, you ain't gonna beat. You can be as strong as you want, as fast as you want, but if you can't get around the offense lineman when you get to the corner, it don't really matter at the end of the day because you're just gonna get washed out.
In your eyes, how do you perfect the bend? Is it more, I don't know, squat drills? Is it leverage? Like, how do you go about perfecting the bend?
Well, I would say it definitely starts with mobility and just like being flexible because you have to be able to get low and get down there to really bend. Like you can't just be stiff with it.
And then, obviously you've went against different offensive linemen. What do you think you've learned maybe going against some of the better athletes or some of the better offensive linemen that has helped your game along this way?
Do you mean like down here or?
Yeah, down here or it could be in Canada. Yeah, either or.
Well, I would say playing as better offensive linemen. I mean, I love playing as better offensive linemen because it really helps me just develop my skills or the weaknesses I have because they can sometimes like catch on to that more than even I can recognize because they're like, oh, I noticed you do this, and then I'm like, okay, now I gotta fix that. So I would say playing as better offensive linemen and just better overall competition. It definitely motivates me and helps me perfect my craft in a way. I would say.
For sure. Now I want to confirm, tell me if I'm wrong or not, Zion, but you're playing at IMG next year, correct?
No, I'm not playing
Or you
IMG
playing
next year.
Okay.
Currently, I'm most likely looking to play at Mount Bethel Christian Academy
Okay.
down in
For
Georgia.
got you. For you, how was that next process? Obviously, you're making that big jump from Canada to Georgia. Obviously, you're still going through the evaluative process, but why does that seem like a good fit for you? You think?
I mean, I would say coaching is the most important thing for me. If my team, isn't the greatest or whatever, that's part of the game. You're not always gonna be on the best team, but really developing me as an athlete is the most important thing for me. So whether it's that having the best coaching, the best training, just I need all that to develop me. So I think that at Mount Bethel Christian Academy, they have very good D lineman coaches, defensive coordinators, strength and conditioning coaches, just to develop me to that next step.
For sure. Now, I kind of off the field question. Obviously, you're going to develop, in football, but just developing as a man, developing as, a great, citizen off the field too. How do you feel like that's kind of been for you in terms of just like what do you like in school? Subjects you like what do you also want to do, even in addition to football?
Yes. Well, I would say school wise, I do enjoy history a lot. I like learning history. I like learning about philosophy and just all those great leaders in our past. I would say those things I really am passionate about and enjoy doing. As of career wise, I'm not 100% sure what I want to do yet when I get older.
Got you. All right. So obviously, you like, 'cause what's been maybe one of your favorite things that you studied in history class?
History class. I mean, I liked learning about World War II and World War One. Canadian wise, because we didn't learn about American side, but I learned about Canadian history. So I definitely like learning about just the different challenges and battles that happened throughout the World War.
If you do remember, I know it was probably a while ago since you studied, but if you do remember, what was like maybe a big battle or just a history thing that we can learn from you just in Canada? Because we don't get to learn that either. So I would love to learn from you from that point too.
I mean, a big thing I learned about Canada Army, about World War One in Canada is that we weren't really nice. Like we were kind of like pieces of crap. They did some dirty things. I can't lie. I didn't expect that from Canada because we're supposed to be nice. We're supposed to be nice, but in World War One, they were not nice. They were, doing some war crimes. I'm gonna say that.
Okay. All right. I appreciate you sharing that, brother. And then going back to Canada, what part of Canada are you from?
I'm from Kitchener-Waterloo, Ontario. It's like an hour outside of Toronto.
Got you. And then how is this? I want to go too much in detail, but how is life there? Did you more so grow up in the countryside? Like you said, it was a little bit outside Toronto. Was it a suburb? Like how was that part?
I would say I was raised in like a suburb area, but then as I got a little bit older, I moved to a smaller country town. But I would say overall it was good. I was raised good situation.
For sure, 100%. All right, back to the football field. Talk about some of the things that you're gonna be able to do. Who do you draw inspiration from? Like, who do you like to watch? Maybe that's on the collegiate level or that next level where you want to be at. Is it guys like Ruben Bain, Akeem Messenger? I don't know if you know who those are, but who do you peel away from maybe at the next level that you like? Man, I could be like that.
I would definitely say, as of now, my favorite edge rusher is definitely Ruben Baines from Miami. He's nice. I really like his game, and I like taking inspiration off of his game and just watching him play.
For sure. I thought about you, Baker.
For sure, brother. What other sports do you play outside of just football and hockey, man? If you don't mind me asking.
Well, I like track. I compete in track sometimes. Not always the best in track, but it's about just developing myself as an athlete at the end of the day. So I definitely like doing track training and basketball. I like playing basketball a little bit.
So you hoop?
I try to play basketball. I'm not much of a shooter, more of a power forward.
My boy Draymond Green out there. Ain't nothing wrong with that, brother. You know what I mean? You get to a bucket, you getting people involved, brother. Ultimate team. 100%. But I mean, so outside, like what I just said, what else do you do outside of sports for fun, kind of relax and have a little leisure time?
For fun, I would say, I definitely like being with my family, acknowledging myself just with like different videos, comes like philosophy is one thing. I love watching philosophy videos on the side. Being with my family, spending time with them, just like relaxing. I don't really be doing too much other stuff, I would say, but I definitely like learning about different philosophers, whether that's Socrates, Alexander the Great, Plato, Aristotle. Like there's just so many different people that were successful in this life that we can learn from, really. And I definitely would say I love learning from all those people in my spare time.
100%. What drew you to the philosophy realm of life?
I would say my uncle, Jonathan Ham, he definitely taught me about it, and he knows way more than I know. I'm still learning. There's a quote from Socrates that says, "The more you learn, the more you realize you know nothing at all," which kind of means like, I'm learning more every day, but after I learned that, it's like, oh, well, there's so much more stuff in this world that I really don't know about. And you think you know more, but it's like the more you learn it, you realize like, holy, I don't know nothing at all. So I would say, but he definitely like brought me in that space and just like was on me about learning that stuff, and I'm very grateful for him teaching that to me every day.
Absolutely, we are all babies for sure. The eternal students. What you've already given out a profound quote, but is there any other quote or any specific philosopher that you feel like has impacted your mental the most?
I would say my favorite philosopher is definitely I like the Buddha and I would say what's his name? Alexander the Great. Because Alexander the Great, he was a conqueror. He conquered everything. He wasn't alive for too long, but what he did when he was here was very impactful. And just as well the Buddha. I like the Buddha. If you look at him and watch what he did, it's amazing. It's just different. It's definitely different than what you see in America or Canada, like as an average citizen. Like their life is completely different.
Absolutely, well said, brother. I'm gonna definitely take more time to tap into that. But I also wanted to ask you, man. What are some things outside of football, like you just talked about philosophy, or you talked about the Buddha and Alexander the Great, how they did things, even though they were on life for a short span of time? What are something that you want to do and impact the world before you expire?
I definitely would say giving to people, just helping, whether that's needy people, people who just need help, a giving hand, just like helping people just makes you feel good inside, and just knowing that other people can really like, with your gifts that you were given by God, just like spreading to people just feels good. And I would say just you're doing the right thing. Like I really want to like impact other people's life outside of my own. I don't want to just be here by myself in my house talking to my family. I want to impact other people's lives and just like spread love to the world, I'd say.
100%. Resilient was a word that when I was talking and doing my research, but we are journalists, we try to do the best way we can. But resilient was a word that came up a lot in regards to you, man. So, what does the word resiliency mean to you?
I mean, the word resilience means a lot to me. You have to be resilient in every day in your life. There's people who are going through way worse stuff than we are right now. There's kids who have cancer. There's mothers who have no money with children. There's just people who have to do way more than me. So if I can't be resilient myself and get through little struggles that like impact me, whether that's football, family, financially, just anything, I gotta be resilient. And it's just like it's really important to me because like I can't be sitting here acting spoiled by myself and be complaining and not being resilient. I gotta be a resilient person because there's always people who are going through way worse stuff than you are.
And what would you say to the next young man that's in your situation that may not be coming from a different continent, right? You know what I mean, but just maybe transferring out, who, you know what I'm saying, transferring out is just trying to find a situation that better fits them. What would you say to them?
I mean, you gotta trust the process, I would say. Like, at the end of the day, like, let me think how to say this.
Take your time.
Like, how you have to really want it. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just be like just let everything happen. You gotta like really. I'm trying to think how to say this. Um, like if you're like really passionate about something and serious, you'll know what I mean by saying like you have to like really want it. Like there's a difference from being just like casual about something and being like an obsessive person about it. If you want to go to the next level, go to a different school, play the sport and or anything you want to do in life, you have to be like a different kind of obsession with it. You can't just be average, you can't be normal, you can't fit in with the crowd. You really have to be different. Like, you shouldn't look around yourself and be like, I'm doing the same thing as him over there and the same thing as him over there. You got to be like, oh, I'm doing different things, looking at people who are doing more than you. You can't just be sitting here doing the same stuff that everybody else is doing, because then you're going to end up staying in your hometown, working a 9 to 5 job that you really didn't want to do. Just like, you have to really like just try to put yourself out there and just be really obsessed with what you want to do when you're older or whatever you're passionate about.
Talk heavy, brother. So let's dive deeper into that, man. What is your why? Why do you want to do this?
I have multiple whys, but I would say my biggest one is, I love this sport because at the end of the day, you can have any why you want, whether it's financially, whether that's to look a certain way in the culture of things, whether that's for, your family. But you have to really love it at the end of the day. You can't be doing it for somebody else. You gotta be doing it for yourself, I would say. Cause like not for yourself, but like I would say like you have to really enjoy and be passionate about it. Cause like who's gonna be there to pick you up when you've been thrown in the dirt over and over again? It's your mom's not gonna be there to pick you up. Your uncle ain't gonna be there to pick you up. It's gotta be you wanting to get up and go at it again and again and again until you get it right. So I'd say my why is definitely just like me loving it. I love everything about it. I love training, the hard training. If I'm throwing up, I love everything about it. It's nothing that's like makes me like I don't want to do this no more. I love everything about this.
Profound, brother. Profound. like I said, we're going into your junior year, man. Is there a school down here that you want to go to, or you gotta?
We talked about it.
You did. What school is that, brother?
He was
Currently, I'm most likely gonna go to Mount Bethel Christian
No, I mean
Academy.
like collegially. Like, is there a school,
Oh,
like a college you
collegially.
want to go to?
As of now, I mean, my favorite school I'd probably say is Tennessee. I like Tennessee, but as of now, I'm not really sure because I still got 2.5 years left. So I'm
Yeah.
kind of waiting and seeing what happens in the future.
For sure. Is it the culture? You like the orange? I mean, why Tennessee, man? You could go anywhere.
I mean, they produce lots of good defensive ends.
He's
What's his name is at the Atlanta right now? James Pierce.
Yep.
He's a very good edge rusher. They have another one. Oh, I'm blanking on his name, but they
Joshua
produce
Joseph.
another edge rusher who should go in the first, second round, I think. But
Joshua Joseph.
Pardon me?
I would say Joshua Josephs.
Oh yes, that's his name. Yes. But they just always be producing different good edge rushers, and their edge rushers always be advancing into the league very nicely, I'd say.
I'm saying, man. So at the end of this next 2.5 years, man, what do you want the story to be around your name?
I mean, I would say for me personally, I want to, bring the next 2 years. I say I want to like really just develop myself as a person more, and just as an athlete, and just like I really want the story to be about me, like just like if I can do it, why can't anybody else do it? I'm from Canada, a small town in Canada, and over these next 2.5 years, I'm gonna be grinding and training because I'm gonna make it to the next level. So if I can do it, I mean anybody can really do it. You just gotta have a good why and a good work ethic, I would say. So I would say I just want to just go do my thing over these next couple of years.
Throw it back to you, Nash.
So obviously we know your why and the reason you do it. So kind of that next step, and as you transition, obviously Georgia, is your family moving down here with you, or are you kind of doing it to a situation where you're gonna kind of be doing this thing on your own?
No, my family will not be coming down here with me. I have 4 younger siblings, so that's just not an option really. So I will be doing this by myself. I do have family that lives down here, but I won't be living with them. But I do got family down here.
So essentially, like you say, you got navigating this journey by yourself. So I know obviously your mindset, you got the right mindset in order to attack this. But for you, how did that make you feel? Like, hey, like because like you just said earlier in Soliloquy, you said, hey, sometimes you got to go outside of your comfort zone. You got to be resilient. You got to go outside of what's the norm, what you're used to, and obviously you're doing that. So to you, like, how does that make you feel that you're making such a big step? Not necessarily by yourself, but you're going to be doing this essentially by yourself.
Well, I would say it's definitely going to be a very, very big change. I'm not going to be at home. I'm not going to be able just to go upstairs and see my mom, see my siblings, my family. So it's definitely going to be a very hard change mentally. But I kind of know that that's what I got to do if I really want to go to this place, the next step that I want to go to. So as hard as it's going to be, I know that I'm able to just tackle this challenge and just like go with it. And I believe in myself that I'm able to go by myself, and just I need to do what I need to do to get to the next level. And I can't let my family like not being there stop me, because that's dumb. That's not a good way for me to like just quit just because I'm going to be by myself.
You seem like you're kind of, to a degree, like your personality, like you're very wise, beyond kind of your years. So where does that kind of this mentality mindset come from? It's come from your parents, come from you learning from your uncle. Like, seems like you already have that mindset of, I'm gonna do this, I'm being adult, like I can do this at a young age.
I would definitely say it's just all the mentors I have. I have very, very good, impactful men and father figures just in my life, whether is my dad, my 2 uncles, my stepfather, and just very powerful and wise mentors I have in my life just to look at and just mold me as a young man.
For sure. I guess the next question I have for you, How is I know you're kind of more quiet to yourself, but let's say you go to this new school, coach wants you to kind of feels like you're tearing it up, you're playing at a high level. He wants you to be more so of a leader for the team. He wants you to kind of talk to them a little bit. How would you approach that as a player?
I mean, me like as much as I am quiet and I'm not the most social person, I can still talk to people, and I am a leader at the end of the day. Because I'm not a coward, I'm not gonna be scared and just be go in my shell like I'm a turtle. So I am still able to be a leader on a team and just be a social and talkative person if I need to. But I'm just not always gonna be out, going to hang out with random people and partying. I'm just not like that as a person. I don't choose to always be social, but I'm still definitely able to communicate and be a leader on a team.
What's been your favorite moment on the field?
My favorite moment on the field. Um, I would probably say it was getting a pick six against our team, against our rivals up in Canada in my grade 10 season. That was definitely my favorite moment on the field. That was definitely my favorite moment. Because it was an intense game. We were the underdogs. It was like third quarter, close game, and I got an interception, took it to the house. That was definitely my favorite moment, though, I'd say.
100%. And then obviously talked about that kind of being your favorite moment. How was the audience? How was the crowd like when you got that big play?
Oh, it was electric. That was probably the biggest crowd I've ever played against as well. Because it was such a big rivalry game. People came from like everywhere in town just to come watch it. So it was definitely a very big crowd. My family was there, so it was electric.
For sure. We talked about like what you like to do kind of off the field and obviously reading different stuff. Is there anything specific you like I guess I'll go this way. Do you have a favorite like food or a favorite like music or genre you like to listen to?
I mean, I do have a favorite. My favorite food is sushi. I could eat sushi every single day if that was an option. I
All
love
right.
some good California rolls.
Mm.
All right, smooth. And what about your favorite like type of music or if you're kind of a chill guy, like what do you like to listen to?
Music wise, I mean, I can really listen to everything. I wouldn't say I have a favorite kind of genre. I can listen to rap, hip hop. I don't love country music, but I can listen to it. I can. I've been around and exposed to all different types of music over my life, so I'd say I don't really got a certain type I like, but I just like whatever's on. I'll listen to. I don't really have like a favorite artist or anything like that.
Got you. Going back to that, do you have like I know it's still very early in your football career, but do you have like a pregame ritual? Anything you do to kind of get like ready to go for games?
Um, yeah. Before every game, I'm very big on warming up by myself and just like getting ready in my headspace. So I like getting the games like an hour or two before them, just to like slowly go through my emotions. Do my stretching, my mobility, some band stretching, and just like some pad work against the field goal posts by myself before the game. So like, I'll give you an example. Like my championship game, this season, I was there like 2 hours before everybody else was there, just warming up, getting myself mentally prepared for the game. Praying, just getting myself ready because I don't like rushing. I don't like just getting there, putting my equipment on, doing the team warm ups, and just going the game because that's not what professionals do. I treat myself like a professional, so I'm gonna go do everything like professionals. I don't just sit there and show up to a game.
Last one before I throw back to bacon. What's been the best lesson you've learned so far in your life?
The best lesson I learned in my life. Hmm, I would probably say that. I'm actually best lesson I learned in my life. Probably to like not be a coward or like so there's a thing so it's like you can be there's like a balance, right? I'm forgetting the word of it, but there's being a coward over here, right? And then there's being overconfidence over here, and there's like a middle. Okay, so like you have to if you're in a battle, right, and you go to the front of the battle saying, oh, I'm gonna go by myself, and you could die. that's called being that's being reckless and being overconfident with it. But if you're in the back, letting everyone else go first, you're a coward. But if you're in the middle, that's called courage. Because like, just because you want to be like, tell yourself like, just because you tell yourself, oh, I'm like that, it doesn't. You can't be stupid at the same time. You know, you can't be overconfident with it, but you got to be like smart with it. I would say so. Just having courage is like the big lesson I was taught. That's an example from Aristotle, the philosopher. Like that's his lesson. If you search it up, he teaches that. That's like the biggest lesson I would say I learned. Just like having courage, not being a coward, and not being overconfident with myself.
Gino, man, and the scholar, man. A few more things, man. We'll let you go again. We appreciate you as you're coming on and allow us to, I'm saying, be here to tell a little bit of your story, brother. So, but I'm gonna bring up your film, man. The people know Zion Shad has come to the state of Georgia, the Metro Atlanta area, but they got to see how you play, fam. So, this is the camp where you won the MVP at. Let me pull this back up. And I remember doing my research. You said you were very confident coming to this camp, man. Obviously, you dominated. Just what do you remember from this atmosphere? Man, can't hear me. I can't hear me.
I think he's froze.
Yeah, he might be froze. No, he ain't froze.
No, he just moved. Mm-hmm.
Tough. So, brother, what do you remember from that camp, man? What
I can't hear anything. I can't hear nothing.
All right, for sure. My friend, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you now.
All right, so just what do you remember from that camp, man? I remember you doing my research. You went into that camp real confident. You were prepared for everything. Just what do you remember about that camp?
Yes, that was my 9th grade year. That was my first real big camp, I would say. I went to Edmonton, so I had to leave home. Took a plane there, and I was definitely nervous. The night before that camp, I couldn't even sleep. 2 nights before, and the night I couldn't sleep at all. I was nervous, but I was like mentally prepared, but I was a little bit nervous. But the minute I walked in the doors and like everything settled in, I definitely got this confidence because I was prepared. I was training for it. So I was definitely nervous, but I was prepared at the same time. So the minute one-on-one started happening, though, that's when like everything clicked. My nerves went away, and it was go time. I was ready to go. So, it started, and I started dominating. Starting feeling myself a little bit. As one of the youngest people there as well too. I was definitely started to feel myself a little bit, and just it was go time. And I executed at the end of the day. So I would say overall it was a very good experience.
Absolutely, brother, man. Anybody you want to shout out, man, before we let you rock, brother?
I love you, Mom. I do this for you. I love you, my mom. Love you, Mom.
For sure, brother. Where can they follow you at? How can they stay tapped in tune with you in your process?
You can follow me at Zion Shad. On Instagram, just ZionShadd, with the space in between. That's Instagram, really. And on Twitter as well. Sorry, I'm lying. Twitter, Zion Shad on Twitter.
Yeah, Sersky, man. Now you down here in Atlanta, man. It's a different vibe, man. It's a different speed. Are you ready? Are you ready for the for the full vibe of what's going on in Atlanta? You're in the culture, brother. Are you ready to be submerged?
Yes, sir, I am. I would definitely say.
100%, man. What's some last thing? What's some goals, man, as you get ready to start the process, or just what's some goals for what you have for your upcoming Georgia season?
I'd say my biggest goal is just to go and dominate every play, every time I'm on the field, just to go and dominate. Really set a presence that I'm here and I'm about that action. I'm gonna play.
100%. Now, you got any last remarks for him?
Nah, brother. I just want to say real quick before we let you go, man. Credit to you.
I cannot hear him. Sorry.
All right, hold on. Come back. Hold on.
Oh, good, fam. Gunna or Lil Baby before he come back.
Pardon me?
Gunna or Lil Baby before he come
Little
back.
baby.
Kid, I'm trying to tell you, man. You on that one, man. Go ahead, Naj.
Can you hear me?
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
All right. No, I was gonna say, man. No, I just wanted to give you your praise, man, and credit you for just doing a move that's against the grain, man. Not everybody at your age is doing what you're doing and taking this big leap of faith and leaving their hometown and everything they're comfortable and used to. So, some people stay within their little bubble for all their lives. So, I want to give you credit for that, taking a leap of faith, and wish you nothing but good luck, brother. And I hope you dominate and you become one of those really good stories that the guy that made it, just from being different and doing stuff that it's not always people would want to do and having that courage, as you would say.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. We'll be in touch, man. Appreciate you again, Unc. We'll be talking to you soon, Zion.
One more thing. Shout out to all my people from Canada. Gotta show the love to Canada, all the people who support me, and shout out to all those people from Canada.
Yes, sir. Everybody from the 6.
Yes, sir.
All right, Zion. We'll be in touch, my friend. Peace and love, family.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Thank you for coming on.